Okay, I think we're live on Facebook. Here we go. Okay, we're live. Hello, everybody. Welcome to PT on Ice weekly show. My name is Jessica Davis. I am lead faculty for the Performing Arts Division. And this morning, I thought we needed something different, something a little fun. I think we're all craving some live sports. So I've got a little guest star here. This is my son, Nathan, and he is a hockey goalie. And we're going to talk today about the adolescent hip. So with goalies, as with dancers, you're going to see there's a higher prevalence of FAI. And what we want to do with these young athletes is work on prevention. And so I found some neat articles I want to talk to you about today, some neat information. So it's commonly thought that the butterfly position for a hockey goalie is associated with a higher prevalence of developing FAI, the frequency with which they maintain that position. And so I'm going to have my son show you the butterfly position. So bear with me. I'm working on my outdoor technology. I just wanted to do something different today. Okay, so I'm going to make sure you guys can see him. All right, so this is Nathan. And hold on, babe. I'll get out of the way. Okay, go ahead and do your butterfly. And come back up. And again. And back up. Okay, so what would you do in practice typically? Go ahead and show me the drill. So imagine this would be on ice, and sometimes he does these off ice. Go ahead. Good. Okay, back up. Good. All right, so that's the butterfly for those of you who aren't familiar with the butterfly. So you can see why that would be commonly perceived as, associated with prevalence of FAI, especially if you're doing it repetitively, which I will tell you my son does and goalies do. So I found a really cool research article published in 2015 in the Journal of Journal of Sports Medicine. And what it challenged was it wanted to really see, does FAI in elite hockey players and look at different positions and see really where's the greatest prevalence of hip internal rotation and pressure, and theorize, well, will this lead the goalie potentially to develop FAI? So they looked at 3 moves for the goalie, skating obviously in the net, and they looked at the butterfly save, which you just saw what the butterfly save was, and then recovery movements on ice. So they studied 14 collegiate and professional goaltenders. So keep in mind, this was a small sample size, so what they found in this needs to be studied further, obviously. But what was interesting was the butterfly position did not, and I emphasize did not, exhibit the greatest range of motion and hip of the 3 movements. So interesting, right? Because you look at that position, you think, well, the power and the impact, maybe that would cause some impingement potentially or developing in the hip. What they found was it was the deceleration phase of skating that instituted the greatest peak of internal rotation. Specifically, it was 54% higher than in the butterfly and 265% higher than in the recovery phase of skating. So what they hypothesized was that maybe it's the repetitive end range loading in internal rotation in the deceleration phase of skating that may increase the incidence of FAI. So when we think about the adolescent, we know that, well, Nathan here, he's grown probably about 2 inches in a few months. So he's at that peak, he's a growing willowy tree, so he lacks that neuromuscular control. And we know that we got to have a balance, as with even dancers too, with goalies and other athletes. We have to have that perfect balance of adequate mobility. And for the goaltender, it's adequate mobility in the hips, specifically internal rotation, to get into that butterfly position. But they also have to have the proper neuromuscular control, right, of the core and of the trunk. So what we're going to go over today is some different exercises to work on that. And also in 2015, there was a really nice article that was published actually in the Journal of Canadian Chiropractic Association, where they looked at a nice case study of a conservative management of a hockey goaltender, an elite hockey goaltender, who had FAI and was told that he couldn't return to play. So he stopped playing, but he went into rehab. And what I like, and I'll post this for you, is it has a really nice progression of 3 different phases that they took this athlete through, focusing on that neuromuscular control. So I'm going to post it up so you guys can reference it. It's actually really nice. But what I want to focus today is how do we work on prevention with these athletes? So we need to work on that deceleration phase of skating, right? So I'm going to show you a nice drill that you can take your athletes through. And I'm obviously going to make my son do this because it's good. It's called the 369 deceleration suicide. So that's why we're outside, because we got a little more room. And Nathan's been training for this to show you guys. So here, hopefully we'll be able to see. And wait, hold on, Nathan. Hold on, babe. Oh, okay. I think you guys can see him, and I hope. And for those of you who are listening, no. All right, we're good. We got him on the. Okay, so Nathan, so to describe this test, the first phase, they're going to run to the 3-yard line, and he's going to land in a double leg stance, controlling his position. So when you're working with your athlete, of course, you're going to be working on motor control and coaching them how you want them to land in that quick phase. Then he's going to backtrack, backpedal backwards to the 6-yard line, land on one leg, where he's working on minimizing what we always see, and especially you're going to see this in my son because he hasn't trained in this yet. You're going to see that he falls into that, of course, internal rotation. We're looking at that lateral trunk lead. And then the nice third phase, so he'll backtrack and he'll go all the way to the 9-yard line, and he's going to work on that lateral move. And in that lateral move, we're working on maintaining that proper trunk control. So go ahead and you can watch him. Go ahead, babe. Run. Stop. Come back and hold that land and go. Run, 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 run. Sprint, 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 sprint. One leg. Come back. Run, 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 run. Go, 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 go. To your side. Good. Come back. Oh, you got to backtrack. That's okay. That's okay. And then repeat the test. So he's going to repeat it 2 sides. So go for it. Go. Good. Come back. One leg, left leg. Good. He has a little trouble on the left. Go ahead. Run to the side, babe. To the side. Nice. And back straddle. Back, 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 back. Good. So the athlete will repeat that twice. So it's a nice thing to work on is that 369 deceleration suicide. Another exercise that's pretty nice is working on some proximal hip control. And we think of PNF, but we're going to show you in a high kneel position and then also in a single leg stance position. So Nathan, go ahead and show a couple of those exercises that you're working on. Let's grab, you need that. Good. And I've got the band here for you. All right. So we're going to wrap this band on his leg. Of course, it's really cold, so my fingers are freezing. Okay, so if you recall, you're going to get in that kneeling position, Nathan, right? So he's going to get in a kneeling position, and he's going to have to maintain his control. That's right. So hopefully you guys can see him. Let me angle this a little bit. Lower. There we go. Hold on, Nathan. So what I'm coaching is that whoops, wrong way, is that he's got to keep his body upright, of course, right? And I have him hold this band out to the side because this band's going to want to knock him over, and he doesn't like this exercise. Good, and I'll coach him and I'll give him some PNF. Squeeze that butt. Come on, get that butt going. Get that butt going. Good, and he's going to work on speed, right? So then how do we progress this? We're going to get him up into standing. Go ahead and stand. Okay? So now he's going to get into that skater position, and he's going to go through the full PNF, and you can see I'm pretty bad at it, go ahead and you're going to keep that, right? And I want you to get down into that skater position. Now look at you can see what Nathan's doing already. Where do you see that he's lacking? So we got to get that hip stronger. And we're going to work on speed, but what I'm going to be working on in rehab is, of course, the position of his leg, right? Because he has some trouble in that proximal hip. So anyway, I just thought that was very interesting and food for thought. So maybe it's a combination. We know that, right? We have to have proper mobility with every athlete. When you think of the hockey goalie, you think of having adequate hip internal rotation. And then, of course, we have to work on that core control, the proximal hip, and we have to make things functional, so we work on deceleration and speed. So other things you can work on is box jumps, right? Specifically the landing. So landing on 2 feet, landing on 1 foot, any kind of drill where you can facilitate that deceleration loading with proximal hip control and core control, as well as mobilization exercises. So hopefully that was a little bit different. I know we were all craving some sports, so this is my attempt at getting you guys to see some sports today, see some sunshine, and thank you all for listening, and have a wonderful Tuesday, everybody. All right, go out and get there. All right, bye-bye. Oh, I did that. There we go.
Hey, thanks for tuning in to the PT on Ice Daily Show. If you enjoyed this content, head on over to iTunes and leave us a review. And be sure to check us out on Facebook and Instagram at the Institute of Clinical Excellence. If you're interested in getting plugged into more ICE content on a weekly basis while earning CEUs from home, check out our virtual ICE online mentorship program at ptonice.com. While you're there, sign up for our Hump Day Hustling newsletter for a free email every Wednesday morning with our top 5 research articles and social media posts that we think are worth reading. Head over to ptonice.com and scroll to the bottom of the page to sign up.